18-point swing, so what's that? 8 points. 8 points the difference. Angus Fogg advantage back over Kane Scott. On board with John McIntyre, someone running off track just up ahead. It is all on here in the final laps at Taupo for the third and final race. The penultimate round of the NZV8. Don't go away, we will be back with more from Taupo after this. Scott McLaughlin leads from Andy Booth, Nick Ross, Andy Knight, John McIntyre and Simon Richards. So McIntyre 5th, Kane Scott in 8th. Angus Fogg on the back of this queue. So we're going to have a look at the Hydrolink best moment under pressure for the BNC race. And it's got to be Angus Fogg with this lock-up. And around he goes, but behind him it just causes absolute mayhem as he tries to straighten up the LG Ford. The likes of Andy Knight, Eddie Bell and John McIntyre all over each other. Angus Fogg still with the championship lead, the Hydrolink best moment under pressure. But it is so very, very close. There's Scott McLaughlin, there's the gap back to Andy Booth. McLaughlin looking for his first ever win in the NZV8, his debut season. This will really consolidate his rookie points lead, Mark.
Certainly would have, but here we go. Here's the battle further back. Simon Richards, Kane Scott down the inside. Made that pass stick. No, yes, no, maybe.
Richards trying to come back at him under brakes to the outside, so Kane Scott completes that pass.
Now Angus Fogg will be trying to make his way through there as well.
John McIntyre up into the 5th position and closing fast. On the back of Andy Knight. So 5th to 7th for the round win. 5th, 49 points. So that's a 7-point gain. So John McIntyre still, I think, by just 2 points for the round victory. Angus Fogg now scored in the 15th position. So an important position gain for him. 22 points. Kane Scott in 7th. So that's a 20-point gain for Kane Scott. 7-point lead for Angus Fogg in the championship. On board there with Kane Scott. Boy, they've had to really fight hard for this race.
No one has really taken it by the stranglehold, have they? Other than Scott McLaughlin, of course, but these guys here, these are the ones that are battling for the championship at the end of the day.
Well, you got to remember, Mark, Scott McLaughlin started from grid position 15.
Yeah, so he hasn't done it easy. He's had to scrap his way through. He's certainly the fastest man, or thereabouts, on the track at the moment. Of course, Andy Knight, sorry, just eclipsed that at a 1:37.8. And Scott McLaughlin on a 38.0. So this man at the moment is certainly showing a clean set of heels. And now this race is established a bit. The round honours, they finish the way they are. Will be Johnny McIntyre first, 183 points. Kane Scott on 171. And then Jason Barguana, albeit he had to come and change tyre, could still be third on 159 points. Looking at the championship, Angus Fogg will still be leading it, but Kane Scott will only be 7 points adrift.
That is absolutely nothing with 1 round left to go. On board with the race leader, Scott McLaughlin.
He is a cool character, isn't he?
Quick look in his mirror, but 3.5 seconds back is Andy Booth in 2nd. Boothie, of course, has had a race win this season. Scott McLaughlin hasn't, looking to be the 9th different winner in the NZV8s for the 10-11 season. Just a little wisp of smoke out of the back of the car, but it's obviously not causing him too much concern. Last lap for McLaughlin at 38.2. Andy Booth at 38.7.
That there can become a major factor of this. These cars have a bonnet pin. It's a mechanism where it actually secures the bonnet down. It doesn't have the same system. Look at the sill dragging off the car as well. But Nick Ross will be praying that the other safety clip that holds the bonnet down stays in place, because if that comes off too, there's only one action, and that's the bonnet will go right over the top of the roof.
Yeah, and it tends to just obliterate the windscreen. So Nick Ross trying to hold on for what, just over 1 more lap. The last lap board about to come out for Scott McLaughlin. You'd have to think pretty hard about this. At 17 years of age, would he just about be the youngest ever winner in a NZV8? You'd have to think pretty hard about that.
Yeah. think you'll find actually correctly. There's the team waving him on.
Yeah, it's Scott's dad, Wayne McLaughlin, there on the fence, urging his young fella on.
Of course, he'll probably become the second rookie only to Eddie Bow to win in his debut season. So here we go. Probably 6 or 7 corners to go.
John McIntyre still 5th, Kane Scott 7th, Angus Fogg in the 15th position, still has the championship lead, as we said, by just 7 points over Kane Scott. John McIntyre more than likely to move into 3rd overall in the championship, with Craig Baird dropping back to 4th with a DNF, a very expensive DNF here in race number 3 at the Taupo Motorsport Park. McIntyre looking for the round victory. Believe it or not, that would be John McIntyre's first round victory for the 10-11 championship.
Really? Certainly going to be winning it at the right end of the championship, because after this there is only one more round to go and anything can happen. But this man in the picture right now has dominated the Hamilton ITM 400 for the last couple of years, and I doubt this year will be any different. So the other boys out of battle of the championship know that they need to get as much buffer over this guy as they can, because if anybody knows how to win there, it is him.
So there's John McIntyre. He is in the 5th position, looking for the round victory, but the final race victory will go to an expat Kiwi, 17 years of age, Scott McLaughlin, based out of the Gold Coast in Australia. What a build-up to his Australian Fujitsu V8 Supercar campaign. He wins the finale at Taupo's first ever win, quite possibly the youngest ever race winner of a BNT V8 race.
Now, depending where Jason Barguana finishes, to top this off, he'll be 3rd overall for the round, Scott McLaughlin, so what a way to finish off.
Andy Booth finishes 2nd ahead of Nick Ross, Andy Knight, John McIntyre, Paul Manuel, Kane Scott in 7th. He's just 7 points behind Angus Fogg in the championship, heading to Hamilton. Scott McLaughlin's first ever race win for the BNT V8s. He wins from Andy Booth and Nick Ross for a Holden 1-2-3 ahead of Andy Knight, round winner John McIntyre and Paul Manuel.
I think you know you've raced pretty hard when you can't even open your car's door and you have to climb out Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yeah, that's right. I felt like a bit like Ricky Bobby. I was high-fiving all my crew and climbing out the window. You know, at least I wasn't running to the finish line. But hey, it was a good event, and I'm so stoked for the whole team and myself.
I say Dukes of Hazzard. I realise that at your age you probably never saw the Dukes of Hazzard, not at least on TV. According to Jamie McCarthy, and he knows these things, you're the youngest ever winner in a NZV8.
Yeah, that's pretty. I came here to learn and to come away with a win, and next week I'm racing at Clipsal, so to learn so much in such a week and then take it on to Clipsal, hopefully I can carry this form on to Clipsal and see where we go from there.
I think you cut it pretty much finer than our government politicians do with their budgets, mate. 7 points now.
Yeah, well, as I said before, it only needs to be 1, doesn't it? But yeah, that didn't quite work out as it should. We had got a great start and motoring way towards a good finish there, and just got on the edge of the curb here and just pulled the tyre clean off the rim, and unfortunately I had to do a whole lap, flopping around to get back in, and then it was all over. So just had to finish to try and get as many points as we could.
You didn't give up, and I actually think we saw some vintage Focky there with a bit of car acrobatics later on.
Yeah, there's a bit of anger going on. I was thinking, flip, my luck's deserted me, but it's been proven before. You just got to keep chipping away at it, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Kane's obviously got a rocket ship. We've got some work to do before Hamilton, but hey, we've gone pretty good at Hamilton too, so bring it on.